So here I am in a student account and I have this quiz and I clicked on it and I am putting in my answers right now. So I'm going to submit it. Now, I have an option on the Google Forms so I can actually see my answers and my accuracy. Now, I cannot take it again, but I can look at and I can see what kind of answers I got right and wrong. And this can be really helpful for a kid just to kind of reflect and say, oh gosh, I knew that, and help them learn again. But now that they've submitted their answers, I'm going to go back to their classroom and I'm going to just move this over. And as a teacher, we have to grade it. And one of the main reasons why I use Google Classroom to assign forms that I auto grade is that I can import the grades easily and return those grades to the students if they're elementary students. I can do this for secondary as well, but normally the easiest way is when you submit your responses as a student, the teacher can email your grades to them, but elementary students do not have email. So I'm going to show you how they can get their grades auto-graded in Google Classroom. Otherwise, they won't see their score. And I only have one student that's turned it in right now, but all of the answers will show up in here. And sometimes people get a little confused by that, but if I click here and I go to the editing feature, all the responses, so there could be 30 responses right here. I only have one, so I'm going to select that. And you can see that there's 3 tabs. There's a summary, so if I had all my students in here, I'd see all their scores. I would see which questions they got wrong or right, which is kind of nice. Some other data. I can look at the questions. So when I click on this, I can go to specific questions, do an item analysis. But I'm going to go to the individual because I gave them a quiz that graded a lot automatically, those closed-ended questions, but there were some that I had to score myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them credit for their name. So I'm just changing the score. It's just identifying, hey, you haven't checked this yet. Looks like they got all of these right, so they're getting credit for that. This one, because it's a date frame, I have to give it a grade, so I'm going to give them 2 points for that. They got this right, so they got 10 out of 10. And the photo didn't have anything. They got this one wrong, so they didn't get any credit for that one. And as I go down here, I'm going to look at their summary statement, and I'm going to just say they got about 13 on that one. I am going to give them a point for submitting that. So I'm just going through and I'm giving them points for everything that Google couldn't automatically grade. And you can see they got points for everything that they got right, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to go ahead and save it. Now this is where the magic happens. The student, here's the student over here. If I click on their auto grading assignment, they see that they've turned it in, but they don't have their scores on there. Now, I also selected that they can only submit it once, so they can't unsubmit it and take it again, which is important. So anyway, since I have this all done, I'm going to release the score, and I'm just going to release it to the one student. Now I only have one, so now it says send emails and release. Now, if this is an elementary school kid, they're not going to see it. So just they can't get it through email, let me just say. So I released the score and it's done. Now, if it's a secondary, they would get an email and they would get their score. So how do we do this in Google Classroom? And you can only do this through Google Classroom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my Google Classroom, and here is my assignment. So let's go into that assignment. Let's import their grades. Right now, ideally, you would have gone through all your students and graded all theirs, right? So like when we were back here and we were done with this person, we would go to the next student and you'd go to the next student and you just would finish them. When you're all done and you go back here, you can import the grades, all right? And so we're going to go ahead and import this. And it says, hey, are you sure you want to do it? And I'm going to say, yeah, import it. So it's telling me right now that this person got 88 out of 110, which is super great. So if I had graded all those scores would be in there. That's really important. What I want to do is I want to return it, because if I go over here and I'm sitting here waiting for my grades, and I sit there and I press refresh. It doesn't show me my grade. The only way that I get to see my grade is if the teacher returns the assignment. I'm going to go here and return it. It says, hey, they're going to be notified. And the way they're going to be notified is in Google Classroom. So those kids who are not elementary will still see their score. And you can even put in a comment here if you want. When I do that, and I go back here and I refresh this, I can now see my grade. I got 88 out of 110. Yay!